There is no need for you to commit so much time and effort into it, and you just want to be a sack of potatoes, for lack of better word. Hey fam, how are you doing today? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tobi Achudume, and yes, I am standing up in today's video. I probably will be doing this more because I kind of like how it feels. Anyways, welcome to today's video. If this is your first time here, you are super welcome. I am so excited to have you here with me. So here on this channel, we'll talk about topics, tips and tricks that will help us grow fearlessly to the best versions of ourselves. If you're interested in topics like that, please click the subscribe button so you get notified when we have new videos up and you join this happy space. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being a part of this happy space. I hope that you enjoyed this video as much as you have enjoyed the other ones. And also don't forget to leave me a comment so that I know that you are following and you're enjoying this video. So without further ado, let's get into today's topic. We are going to be talking about what it means to be in a rut and how to get out of a rut. So get yourself a glass of your favorite drink, maybe a note and a pen so that you take notes, and let's get into today's discussion. Okay, to set the picture for what we're about to talk about, I'm going to take you back to an episode of Tom and Jerry, which I saw a long time ago, but kind of brings this together. So Jerry pours oil on the floor, which is typically what Jerry does all the time. Teases Tom to come out of hiding. Tom comes out of hiding and then sees that it has been a prank. He's trying to run away because he sees the big dog, which is Puppy, has been mistaken by Tom as Jerry and has caused a whole confusion and probably destroyed something. I hope that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, let's try Scooby-Doo's scenario. So Scooby-Doo and Shaggy, the very frightened people, are trying to get away from a mission, and then Freddy is holding them up like this and they cannot move because Freddy is holding them up. Does that give you a good picture? Okay, maybe not again. Another scenario which I think would be a better way to explain what I'm trying to say is you being stuck in a swamp, or you being stuck in muddy water, or your car being stuck in muddy water or a swamp, and you cannot get out. So you're struggling to come out of this, but you cannot come out of it. These pictures that I have painted, which I hope I painted clearly, gives an example of what it means to be in a rut. So you're in a situation, a sticky situation, and you cannot find a way out. You're struggling to come out of this situation, but you cannot just imagine coming out of this situation. That is what a rut is. So for us to have a better, clear and defined, concise definition of what a rut is, I'm going to read from my note, which I have taken from the Oxford Dictionary, and it says that a rut is a habit or pattern of behavior that has become dull and unproductive, but it's hard to change. So I'm going to say it again because even I did not get that. A rut is a habit or pattern of behavior that has become dull and unproductive, but it's hard to change. Okay, so it's an extreme case of lack of motivation, and I talk about lack of motivation here and how to get out of it. So please check it out if you are feeling unmotivated to do the things that you want to do. But being in a rut is different from being unmotivated to do the things that you want to do, because with lack of motivation, you are able to pick yourself back up and remind yourself of what you want to do. But being in a rut is not that you don't know that you should be doing these things. It's that you think or you assume that these things that you want to do and these things that you are supposed to be doing is pointless, is meaningless. There is no need for you to commit so much time and effort into it, and you just want to be a sack of potatoes, for lack of better word. You just want to be by yourself in your space, not doing anything because you feel like anything that you are doing is all just not making sense. So that is what it means to be in a rut. So kind of like when you're struggling to get out of a swamp, or when a car is struggling to get out of a swamp, it is difficult to do because you see that the harder you try to get out of it, the more you sink, the more you're just going in. That is how it feels sometimes when you're trying to come out of a rut. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you practical steps that I think would help you to get out of a rut and make the best of your time. And I'm doing this video because we are almost in the last quarter of the year, and so it is important for you to manage your time effectively and efficiently. Yeah. So just in case you missed it from the introduction that I just gave, how can you tell that you are in a rut? The first very clear way you can tell that you're in a rut is that you just do not have energy to do the things that you love to do. You just feel like you don't want to do anything. all you want to do is just nothing. You don't want to do the things that you love, the things that you know are important to you, the things that matter to you. You just find yourself not having energy to do any of these things. A second way that you would realize that you're in a rut is that you feel drained all the time. So you feel like you don't have energy at all. You always feel exhausted. You always feel tired. You always feel drained. Number 3, you find yourself very comfortable in your comfort zone. So I know that the comfort zone, of course, is comfortable, but when you're in your comfort zone, you kind of know that it is time for you to move on, because you begin to feel like you're not moving forward. When you're in a rut and you're in your comfort zone, you don't feel remorseful about being in your comfort zone, because you feel like that is where you want to be. I mean, what's the point of moving forward if you're not going to get results that you want to see? So that is another way that you can tell that you are in a rut. You're in your comfort zone and you're quite comfortable in your comfort zone. And number 4, as far as you're concerned, you're not moving forward. You're not taking any forward steps. Anything that you do, you're just moving in circles. That is another way that you can tell that you are in a rut. Okay, so now we have established 4 basic ways that you can see that you are in a rut. Let's talk about how to get out of this rut, which is absolutely not a place that you want to be. The first thing I'm going to say you need to do to get out of a rut is to acknowledge the fact that you're in a rut. Yep. So there is this thing that we like to do as humans. I don't know why we do it, but we do it a lot, and I do it as well. We like to deny what is going on. We like to deny that we are not happy. We like to deny that we are not satisfied. We just like to deny things. And I think it's a coping mechanism, which of course is very clear in this case, because you're trying to deny the fact that you're in a rut, and so you're just trying to not be there. But to get out of a rut, you need to acknowledge the fact that that is what is going on, that you are in a rut. You feel drained, you feel exhausted, you don't enjoy what you're doing anymore, you feel like it is pointless or meaningless, because the only way we are going to be able to fix a problem is if we even know the problem that we're trying to fix. If we don't know what we're trying to fix, how are we going to fix it? What are the steps that we're going to take to make sure that this problem is fixed, or this problem disappears, or we find the solution to a problem? You have to acknowledge that you are in a rut, and we're not acknowledging this because we're trying to dwell in it or feel bad about it, but we need to identify why we are there, which is the second point. So I'm just going to take a step back to the first point. So one of the reasons why I think we deny that we are in a rut is because we feel ashamed or embarrassed about it, especially if you have an idea of perfection about yourself. So you begin to deny that you are in a rut because you are not supposed to be there. Fun fact, a lot of people actually in a particular time frame of their life or space in their life have been in a rut. So it is more common than you think. It has happened to more people than you think. Your mentors, people that you admire, people that you see on social media, people that you respect and all of that, they have at one point gone through or been in a rut. If they have not, they are probably going to be in one. But do not feel ashamed or embarrassed about the fact that you are in a rut, because guess what? The reason why you're watching this video is because you're trying to get out of it. The reason why you're even acknowledging that you're in a rut is because you know that it is a place you do not want to be in, and so you want to come out of it. And so do not be embarrassed about it. Acknowledge the fact that that is what is going on. You are in a rut and you need to figure out why you are there. So now I can go into point 2. Identify why you are in a rut. So there are different reasons why you find yourself in a rut, and being in a rut does not just happen over time. So you don't sleep excited about what you love doing, and then the morning you wake up and you're like, oh no, I don't want to be doing this. No, it happens over time. So it's a build up of different situations, scenarios, events, actions, and all of that. So you need to be able to pinpoint when you started to feel like you were in a rut. As difficult as this is going to be, because trust me, it's going to be very difficult, but you need to do it because, again, we are trying to figure out how to get out of this rut. So you need to identify how you got there. What were the actions that you have taken? What are the things that you have done prior to this feeling? How exactly do you feel? Are you sad? Are you depressed? Are you feeling exhausted? What's the feeling? Define the feeling exactly that you are feeling. Because while being in a rut is common to so many people, the reason or the cause of you being in a rut is specific to individuals. So a person A could have been in a rut because they felt like they were not appreciated at work, and so because of that they begin to think that their effort is pointless or meaningless, and person B may just feel like they are a failure, so there is no point in doing anything in their own personal life and has nothing to do with their work. So it is specific to different people, though being a rut is common to everybody. So again, I'm going to read through my notes because I have a few questions that I think would help you to identify the cause. So the first one is, what emotion do I feel more? So there are different emotions, obviously negative emotions that comes with being in a rut. So it could be like you feel depressed, you feel sad, you feel angry, you feel unfulfilled. There are different feelings. So you need to be able to define exactly the emotion that you feel more. Number 2, how far back can I trace this to? So when did you start feeling this feeling? When did you start feeling depressed? When did you start feeling angry about going to work? When did you start feeling exhausted? You need to be able to trace this back. What action can I trace this to? And then the third one is, what aspect of my life do I feel this more? So of course, you know that there are different aspects of your life, and I have a video where I talk about the different aspects of us, and I'm going to have it again linked here. I'm going to also have all the videos that I kind of point out in the description, so you can check it and just go over them. So these questions would help you to identify the cause of you being in a rut if you are honest with yourself and very detailed. Point number 3, look at your goals that you have set in this aspect of where you are in the road. So this is why it is important for you to be honest with answering these questions that you have asked, because we're going to need the answers going forward. So you're going to, number 3, check the goals that you have set for yourself when it comes to, or in the area of where you are feeling a rut. So say for example, you're feeling a rut because you feel like you're not moving forward personally. Then you're going to have to look at the goals that you set for yourself personally, either at the start of the year, at the start of the quarter, or whenever you decided to set this goal, and kind of build again a connection with this goal. So that means you're going to look at it and remind yourself why these goals were important to you. You're going to remind yourself why you set these goals, because you set these goals by yourself, and you set it because you had faith in yourself that you were going to be able to achieve these goals. So we're going to build the connection again by you looking at those goals and reminding yourselves why you set those goals and why those goals are important to you. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to break this goal into actionable steps. So you're going to create a course of action that you are going to take towards these goals that you have reminded yourself about. So it's not for you to just look at these goals and say, yes, these are the goals that I set, and this is why I set these goals. You may already have a working plan for this goal, but you have somehow found yourself in a rut, and so coming out of it means that you have to do the work actively. So you're going to have to draw again a new course of action towards these goals that you have set. So you're going to draw out clearly and specifically what are the things that you need to do towards these goals, what are the actions and the steps that you need to take towards these goals that you have reminded yourself about. I should say that in doing this, you need to be careful to not overwhelm yourself with too many actions. So as much as you're going to break it down into actionable steps, be realistic with it and be, give yourself grace. You need to give yourself grace in coming up with these actions. So that means that you're not going to overwhelm yourself with 1,001 things that you need to do, but you're going to be very realistic in the things that you can do, especially with the goals that you have set for yourself in this particular area that you're feeling the rut. A trick that I could share with you is that you should create a checklist of the things that you need to do. So with a checklist, I'm going to have a picture here. So with a checklist, you're able to tick the things that you need to do as done. So that way, when you take an action, you can tick it as done, and then you go on to the next action. So you tick it as done as well. This gives you a feel that you are taking active steps and you are progressing in coming out of this field that you are in. So as much as I'm giving all of this advice, I should also say that once you start this process, do not stop the process, because if you stop, you're going to easily begin to think back on all of the negative thinking and feelings and all of those things that made you to find yourself in a rut. So once you start the process of looking at your goals again and reminding yourself why it is important, building your connection again with your goal, do not stop halfway. Just keep going, because when you keep going, then you're able to completely pull yourself out of it. You're taking progressive steps and you're seeing that you're taking progressive steps. The next thing I'm going to say is, do not be hung up on perfection. Don't expect that what you're doing at this point is going to be perfect, because it is not going to be perfect. What you should think of is getting things done. So think of the fact that you need to get your goals achieved. You need to get your plans written out. You need to start working on those plans. You need to come out of this rut. So don't think of coming out of it and feeling 100%, but think of the fact that you are taking active steps. So you're doing things. It's not going to be perfect, but it is going to be done. And then when you get to done, you can start working towards perfection, because perfection is a work in progress. Nobody is perfect. We're all working towards perfection. So when you're in the process of doing, think of, I have to get this done, rather than I have to do this perfectly. Because again, when you begin to overwhelm yourself with doing things perfectly, you quickly snap back to being in a rut, depressed, or even feeling unmotivated to do what you want to do. The next thing I'm going to say is that you need to switch up your routine. So I love routines. I have a morning routine, I have an evening routine, I have a daily routine, I have a planning routine, I have meal prep routine. I have so many routines, but I would also be the person to admit that routines could be very boring. It could get boring when you've done something over time and you do it every single time. It gets boring. And so what I like to do is I like to switch up my routine, and I think I talked about it in one of the vlogs that I posted earlier, that I switched up my morning routine because it just became very every time-ish, and I didn't like that. So I felt very somehow. So when you switch up your routine, you are able to add some form of excitement, ignite excitement in the routines that you have or the routines that you are doing. So it doesn't mean you're switching up every single thing. It could just be you taking out something. For example, I used to like to read in the mornings. So just before I get into doing any important work, I like to read like a chapter of the book that I am currently reading. What I did was I moved it to evening. So now I read in the evening and I do my workout in the morning. And it kind of gave me a different feel, and I think I like it. It will probably change by the next quarter, but now it is working fine for me. But 3 months ago, that wasn't it. 3 months ago, I was reading in the morning and working out in the evening. So there are just different things that you can switch up. You just remove something from your morning routine and put it in the evening routine, or the other way, or even just do something just differently. Clean up your workspace, clean up your desk. I say this all the time. I feel like we underestimate how much productivity we can get when we are working in a clean environment, or when we change something on our workspace. So try something out, switch up something, and see how that would very quickly boost up your motivation and even help you to get out of a rut. So the next thing I'm going to say is that you should talk to someone. I know that we like to be superhumans. Everybody wants to be able to handle whatever it is that they are going through. Sadly, it doesn't happen like that all the time. There are going to be situations that you do not know what to do to come out of. So you may even go through this video over and over again and still not know where to start from. There is nothing wrong in talking to somebody, because again, it is more common than you think. So it's not an issue that is peculiar to you. So many people have gone through this, they've come out of it, so they know how to help you to come out of it as well. So talk to somebody, talk to a friend, talk to a coach, talk to a mentor, talk to someone that you think understands what you're going through, and see how they are able to help you. Let them help you come out of it as well. So do not be the person that wants to save themselves all the time. Be open to being saved by other people, because I know you save people as well. And just being by yourself, leaving yourself in a space of being in a rut by yourself is not helping you in any way. It's only going to be doing more danger to you, and we don't like that. What we need is for you to come out of it so that you can be productive and achieve the goals that you have set for yourself. So these are simple, easy ways that I think will be very helpful in helping you to get out of a rut. If you would like to comment on this, please let me see your comments in the comment section. I love to read it and I love to respond as well. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share with your friends and family. And if you would like to talk to me about being in a rut or feeling unmotivated, I'm going to have my Instagram handle in the description bar. You can send me a DM and I would be happy to help you get through this. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, I'm sure you're going to enjoy this one as well, where I talk about feeling unmotivated and how to get it back. I hope that you enjoy it as well. Please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Till next time.